So I'm here with Brian Flannery, the general manager at Washington Hyundai, a client of mine. I came in to do an exit interview because I was visiting him all day, and the first thing he said to me, man, those videos are hitting hard, Gerry. You know, a lot of stuff on TikTok. But what's with all those negative comments? And I'm like, yeah, I know. They really don't bother me, Brian, I'll tell you why. The people that are giving the negative comments, they absolutely have no clue of the car business. I'm just being honest with you, okay? The public thinks that we just go around blowing up.
Some of the public.
Well, a minority of the public now.
Right.
I want to set the record straight. These are somewhat training videos, but they're also parodies.
Yeah, everything in them is not true. We're trying to have fun.
It's not like real. I mean, it's like, this is the real world. Like if someone has like really bad credit, we try to get them done. We try to get the loan through, right?
Yeah, we just signed up with another lender today that try to help customers that come on bad times.
Here's the problem. When we have a bad customer, we agree on a price on the car, and then we submit the deal over to a lender that we deal with. And yeah, we make profit on the deal. Not on those deals, because in fact, we're not able to tell the consumer this. We got to pay a fee.
Can't pass it along.
We can't pass that fee along. So the deal that we originally made on this car, prior to knowing what the customer's credit was, we submitted to the lender, and the lender says, I'll do the deal at 12%, and you got to pay us $2,500 if you want the deal, up to $3,000. And what do?
Sell a car, move on. Try
We
to
sell
make
a
it
car.
happen.
Exactly.
Trying to do that work on the smallest margins of any industry.
Considering the prices of the vehicles that we sell, I totally agree with you. They're the slimmest margins. And when you compare the stuff that's sold in F&I, like a service contract, compared the price of a service contract on an $80,000 vehicle compared to a $700 TV, you're absolutely right. And for people to just throw out negative comments about this stuff, never buy a warranty, never buy tire and wheel, and those guys are going to rip you off, and they're making $1,500. They have no clue. Because first of all, these service departments are loaded with customers servicing their vehicles. Why do we have service departments? Why do we invest in technicians and all the technology that has to come? Why does the factory, the manufacturers, tell us that in order for us to stay in business, we have to invest in our service department?
Operational capacity, certified technicians, parts departments, the whole thing.
Not to mention, we're one of the most regulated industries in the freaking country.
I think only behind medical. Unless you're going to see the doctor, we have the Department of Banking, we have the State Police, we have PennDOT, we have PAA, plus we have to get sales licenses. Everybody that we have is vetted with a background check from us, a background check from the state. It's a serious process.
I've been in the car business my whole adult life. I know that car salespeople, F&I people, people in the car business, you know, we built a bad reputation over the years. I'll be the first one to admit, back in the early days, in the 70s and 80s, we got away with murder until the 90s came along and regulators stepped in and said, look guys, you can't be doing this stuff anymore, you know? So I will admit, not that I'm trying to redeem myself, but go ahead.
No, but I was going to say that we've had this conversation about the stores that you work with, and there's stores that you've talked to because they do business a certain way, you won't even work with.
That's an absolute fact.
And for somebody that could take on that work and say, okay, it's a quick buck, I'm going to go make it, we do things the right way. Everything we do with our customers is full disclosure. It's on the up and up. We don't want them to have questions because it creates apprehension and it doesn't bring them back. And for me, whenever we had that conversation, you explained how you won't work with a dealer that does it XYZ way.
I'm not going to work with a dealer who isn't upfront, who isn't transparent, and isn't straightforward. I'm going to be honest with you, profit is not a dirty word in my vocabulary. We're here to make profit, all right? But to say some of the things that were said, and brush them off my shoulder, only because I really believe that these folks, and this may sound negative, but it's true, they don't have a clue.
They don't, and they think that it's some huge astronomical number that we're making on these cars, that every dollar is going to us instead of the lender. You still have a bank, and there's regulations on everything.
How many times, as the agent I work for, the Gerry agency, how many times has Road Vantage, the company that he works with that sells the tires and wheels and the bundle products, or First Extended, or Assurant, has kicked back contracts because too much profit? Because everything is regulated, and the lender limits the amount of money you can make on the back end. After when you finance a car, the lender limits the amount that you can sell after the fact. Every lender does. The lender, regulators, the government regulates how much money we can make on participation when those deals
Absolutely.
are funded.
And for some of it for good reason, all of it for good reason. It's in the best interest of the customer. It's so regulated, and people don't think that. They think that if they're paying 13% on an auto loan, that XYZ dealer is getting 13%. That's not the case. There's loans that we go through and we have to chase and follow that we don't get a single dollar from the lender as well. I don't think customers realize is there's times where not only are we not making money on the loan itself, but we're actually paying fees on it to try to help somebody out.
How about that 0%? How about a subvented rate from the manufacturer? How much money are you making on that? Maybe you're making a flat just for doing the paperwork.
150 bucks.
The government's making more in their fees. They're making at the dealership level with regard to financing costs. You know, how many times does a customer come in now? It's really competitive. During COVID, I hate to mention that. Sure, people were buying cars for whatever price was out there just to get the car. But now things are changing. People are coming in, they're negotiating car deals, they're looking for deals, the manufacturer's throwing rebates out there, and they're throwing low financing out there to attract business to the dealership. And once that customer gets here, guys, you know, I've been coming here for the last 5 years now. This organization is one of the most transparent, upfront, and customer focused than I've ever seen. In fact, you got a deal, and no one's going to believe us. You got a deal where you're losing $6,000, you're delivering the car tonight.
Trying to honor a price that we gave us.
You made a mistake.
A mistake was made at the desk, and sometimes you honor them. Human error happens, but if it's one where you can,
You know, we've had a problem. When I heard about that, I go, "What's wrong with these people?" But you know what your sales consultant said to me? That's our model. We made the mistake. The customer didn't. And that's the same customer that's probably going to give you a bad review. No, I'm just saying.
No,
But that's how it ends up sometimes, you know?
But they think that there's these crazy margins, and it's not. I mean, it's not. They don't understand that we have to pay for every car that's on the lot. Everybody else that works, and I still haven't met the person that works for free. Well, maybe one. But
Oh, okay. No. All
I know
right.
one guy.
The bottom line here is, I often say this, there's dealerships that take advantage of people. There's dealerships that need an advantage with people. There's dealerships that create advantages with people. And I always like to be in the presence of dealerships that create advantages for both themselves and the customer. And that's what it's all about. So for all you folks out there who think we're just crazy animals going out in the wild, wild west and beating everybody out and making all kinds of money, the fact of the matter is maybe you should look into the regulations that we're regulated by, that we have to abide by.
And we do every day.
We have to, or you get fined, and sometimes you get closed. All right? So with that said, I appreciate you bringing up the fact that I got some negative comments, but you know what?
I just don't like to see it.
I still have over 5,000 likes. Thanks, Brian. And guys, if you're looking for a car, there's the man to see, especially in Hyundai. Until next time, go get them. Don't forget, Prod Prep.